Okay, I think we're gonna get started soon, even though I said 9 a.m. Let me get everything else set up on my end. First, I gotta stop. Just gotta double check a few things, make sure the audio is working correctly. I need to hear some music because I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. And let's see here, Spotify. Excuse me. All right, so I got music going. I can hear myself. Let me actually let me pause the music real quick. We'll just go and go to Twitch and make sure everything is good. It's been a while since I've recorded, so usually things like to break. Perfect. All right, everything is good to go. I am going to get everything started. I'm probably gonna start a little bit early because I need to do some housekeeping stuff. But let's get some music going, get the stream going. Looks like the chat's there. There might be a few people watching. We're going to be, today, we're doing a new task. We're going to be cleaning up pixel art. And we'll add some tasks along the way as we start going. I'm going to, I'll start the Pomodoro timer and let's hide all that stuff. Then, okay, I'm back. I was gone for I had a long trip. I was in Europe last week and took part in, well, I didn't take part in, I was at Nordic Game Jam. I did a talk there, was doing some interviews with developers, and yeah, had a really good time. And made me really want to do games, or make a game in a game jam. So I figured I was going to clean up. I'm going to clean up some artwork that Andrew 2D Heroes and I have been working on. I created a new folder yesterday called Temp, which should get pulled down here. And what I've been having Andrew do, I don't know, my voice cracked there for a little bit. Going through puberty again. All right, what I had Andrew do was go through and recolor these so that they were 3 colors per 8x8 sprite, so that they actually worked a little bit better towards what the original Nintendo would support. And the reason I'm having him do that is that I'm going to be using these as art packs for Pixel Vision 8, and let's go ahead. We'll start with I have 4 of them right now. I have Upgrade Droid, which is basically Metroid. There's Super Pipe Bros, which is a Super Mario type clone. There is Jump and Shoot Man, which is a Mega Man style game. And then there's a Dragon Sweeper, which is a Dragon Warrior style game. And what I want to do is I'm probably going to go through and reorganize these a little bit. Now, I had documents, projects, art packs. Let's start with Upgrade Droid. Actually, I don't think I have any of this stuff broken out. I had it as a PSD, but I don't think I made slices yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of walk you through how I go about creating this artwork. What we'll do is we're going to save this as, I'm just going to call this V3. So where's Upgrade Droid? I've been wanting to use this one the most for some reason. Let's do Upgrade Droid V3. And I'll walk you through sort of how... Did I save it as PSD? Okay, good. Actually, this is the black and white one. I don't want that. I want the... I want this one. Oh, cool. My mouse has been like acting a little sticky, and I don't know why. We're gonna fix this. We're gonna basically make... We're gonna make two layers. One, we're gonna call this the mask layer. And the other is going to be the background color. Let's see, what did he do for the background color? I believe it's just a solid black. Yeah, just straight black. All right. We'll make this a background color, and then this will be sprites. And what we're planning on doing, as I can't speak, what we're going to do is we'll try to export two different versions of this stuff. Now, Andrew, it looks like he like removed a lot of stuff, and I'm not exactly sure why. I guess he went through and optimized some of it because the other one had... Let's see what what V2 had. I think all this stuff is here. I think he just moved stuff around and sort of tightened it up a little bit more, which is good. All right, Andrew does really great work. We've been talking about doing some stuff together for a long time now, and I guess what he did was he just cleaned up all of these little pattern things. I was trying to leave them as a single piece because of some of the way that I planned on cutting it out. So it looks like he just optimized that. We might go back and sort of use it. I might go back and just add in the full patterns, but we'll take a look. So, and it looks like he cleaned this guy up a little bit. So let's take a look. If we remove this, I just want to see real quick that this guy is actually 3 colors. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this works out well. And in fact, for like the background tiles, in order for him to get 4 colors in, what he's using is he's just using black to fill in this pattern. And we'll take a look at how to do some auto tiling. So let's make some tasks while we're here. So what we want to do is look, set up tiled for auto tile template. We want to clean up upgrade, or we'll do slice upgrade droid slice, whoops, pipe bros slice dragon sweeper slice, oops, jump and shoot man. And I think that will get us, that'll get us through where we need to do. Yeah, Andrew did a good job. The stuff looks really good, and it's just, it sort of shows you the amount of work that needs to go into getting all the colors that you can out of these old systems by leveraging this background. So in order to get these black lines and stuff in here, you have to just use the background. So we're going to make the background for this game black. And that should work really well. Let's see what he was doing here. I can't tell the difference between the two logos. The only thing you see is that one has like a shorter shadow. So I guess it's up to me how I want to, which one I want to use. I sort of like the bottom one. And all right, he's got his color palette here. So I think what we're gonna want to do is let's do this. Let's just take a quick pass at setting up the PSDs for each of these. We're gonna save this guy here, and we're gonna call this upgrade droid 3 PSD, and we'll replace the existing one. And then the next one I wanted to do was the Dragon Warrior one. So his was a little bit, I sent him the full. Let's just go ahead and open up. Well, we can just do each one of these. Here's, I'm going to call this archive. And let's just put all these in here. And now, I believe this black is what he's using for the background. These guys don't really have that background. So we'll double check that everything here is color corrected. But I'm not terribly worried about that. If you're just tuning in, we're cleaning up a lot of pixel art. I want to get this stuff ready so that I can start making some games with it. And I think this stuff looks good. Just zooming in to see what colors he used. So, all right. All right. So this one he didn't optimize like he did the other one, but that's fine. So what we're gonna do is let's try to get the same thing. We're gonna call this mask, and we'll call this background. I don't think it's actually important to use the background layer in this one. We're just going to call it mask and call it a day. This one really relied on the background color, so we would export it like this, but we're just using this mask to, or this background color to double check that these things look right. So here we're going to save this as Dragon Warrior. I'm going to call this Dragon Sweeper Template V1. Save. And why don't we go back and do that for this one as well. We're going to go in this upgrade droid. We're going to create a new folder called Archive. And we'll copy all this stuff with the exception of this V3 one and throw this in the archive. And we're going to call this V1. So let's make this yellow. Let's make this yellow. I use these tags just so I know. Why didn't it get saved? Put in the wrong folder. All right, so we have the Dragon Sweeper. The next one was the, let's see, where was the temp folder? So let's do Jump and Shoot Man. And let's see what he created here. So this is the mask. So luckily, so for this guy, we only need one of him. Everything else, this can be palette swap. So what I'm looking to see is if he did anything. Yeah, the artwork's a little different. Okay, I see what he did. We might still be able to get away with this being a palette swap. Now, does he use the black to fill in the background anywhere? Doesn't look like it. All right, so we'll just call this mask. We'll call this sprites, and we're gonna save this. Now let's go into this folder here real quick, into Dragon Sweeper, Upgrade Droid, Jump and Shoot Man, and I'll just make a new folder, archive, and let's throw all this in there. I wonder what this one... Oh, I see. He did have 2 separate characters originally. Yeah, that's fine. All right. This one, unfortunately, this is a big part of game production, is just cleaning up your artwork and getting everything how it should be. Jump and Shoot Man PSD1, and we'll call this Jump and Shoot Man PSD1. And then the last one I wanted to get from the temp folder is going to be Super Pipe Bros. And I can't tell if he did anything special to this. It looks like a lot of things have been removed from here. All right, so this stuff has been sort of cleaned up. It doesn't look like he's using the background layer anywhere here. So if I made another layer here and we just did this as black. All right, we're not using this, so we can get rid of this layer. All right, we'll call this mask. We'll lock this, and we'll call this sprites. So let's go to Super Pipe Bros. So we had Jump and Shoot Man and Super Pipe Bros. I did really start cleaning this up a bit. What did he take out? He took out all the different variations, right? Because we would just palette swap them. All right, so let's save this as Super Pipe Bros. Super Pipe Bros V1 PSD. All right, close this out, and I'm just going to clean up the folder names. Where we have these are our packs. We have Dragon Sweeper, Jump and Shoot Man, Dragon Sweeper template V1, V1, Super Pipe Bros V1, and we can make this archive. So, I really am not a big fan of this week's Spotify, whatever the auto pick thing. It's not very good. All right, so I got all this stuff. Where do we want to start? I think Jump and Shoot Man and Upgrade Droid are high on my list. Let's see if we can just quickly cut this guy up. What I was thinking was, I wonder if there's a way that I could just combine the extra details he did here, and then, oh, I see, his whole outfit is it different? Yeah, they are a little different. All right, we will we'll keep them as separate. So there's a few things we could do. One thing that's on my list, I'm just going to be a little like sort of all over the place this morning. Tiled auto map. I just want to look up how Tiled's auto map function works. these are examples. The mana world rules. So yeah, there's like, in order to do this auto tiling, there's like a lot of, like, this isn't very straightforward. Define of inputs. Inputs are generally defined by a tiler. Outputs are similar to section. Mana world example determines quite a lot of different auto tiling. It's like I just want to do a very simple auto tile. This is like so complicated. All I want to do is like a really basic tile map. The goal of is to draw within one layer and everything else is set up for you. This less time to set up a map, less errors. The automatic feature looks for a text file called rules.txt in the folder where the current map is located. Each line in this text file is either a path to a rule file or a path to another text file with the same syntax, or as a comment. A rule file is a standard map file which can be read and written by tile. Definitions of input. All right, we'll look into this because what I would like to do is I would love to figure out how to set up this auto tiling stuff. Andrew and I had a pretty easy way to calculate this. And it'd be good to get tiled to adhere to that. All right, so I think the best solution is going to be to start slicing this up. We'll use this one, but this is a pretty straightforward. This is a pretty straightforward template. So all I'm going to do is we'll go through. We're going to draw a slice. We're going to call this logo. We'll slice this guy out as meter. How do you spell it? Meter, M-E-T-E-R, meter, M-E-T-E-R. So what I might do is I might break this meter up into a background and then like a meter of fill. I'll get to there in a second. I might just like. Luckily, once we slice these things up, we don't have to really worry about it too much. So this is 1UP A. One up B. Large shot 1. So unfortunately, this is like a lot of what I need to do is just go through and get this cleaned up. 1, 2, 3, there should be 4. This should be 3. This should be 2, and then I can select these at least and move them down, and we'll call this small shot. So my goal for today is hopefully if I can clean up all this artwork, I don't have to keep... I'll have like a nice little set of libraries that I can use for drawing, for making little games and demos. We're going to call this player what I don't remember now is how these all worked. This is player idle. What is this? There's like a standing, but now there's like this is run. I don't think these go together as run. We're gonna have to test this stuff out. I don't remember how he had this set up. Let me see if I could open up the old file. Maybe I... jump and shoot, man. Archive, PNGs. Did I cut this up? Yeah, okay, I did. Idle, normal shoot, normal walk, all right, so this is player A idle, player A stand, player A walk 1, walk 2, this is fall, that's jump. Player A fall, player A jump. And once we create all these slices, I'll be able to output them as individual sprites. And the goal is to just basically get this is one sprite sheet that can be loaded up into Pixel Vision 8, and then also we'll have individual sprites for the sprite builder. So we're going to move this down and rename this. This is player I idle gun. Player A stand gun. Player A walk gun. Player walk gun 2. Player A fall gun. Yeah, it's sort of like a take on Mega Man. Jump and shoot man. Player A jump gun. All right, so let's copy. Whoops. Actually, what we'll do is we're going to copy this, this, and this. And I'll just move the slices down. And we're going to call this player A slide. This and this one look identical. I don't know what that is. Or whoops. What did I name that? I never even used that one. Huh. wonder if we can get rid of it. This is player A stand. Yeah, there's like a few. There's a few of these I think that are just like redundant. Like the idol should just be these two. Although there's no gun idol. I wonder if I want to really simplify this right now. These two idols should be here. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this and move this up here. And then what I'm trying to think, why do you have the same image with different colors? Clearly you have too much memory to spare. Yeah, one of them was the highlight state. What I was trying to figure out is a way that I could palletize this a little bit better so that we would just turn this one into this, which is what I think I'm going to get rid of. I just wasn't sure. I had to go in and double check the there's only there's only 3 colors being used here, right? White. Let's see here. 1, 2. Wait, what's going on? 1. Oh, I see. It's not continue. Here we go. So there's 1, 2. Right. So these guys are only made up of 3 colors. So what we're probably going to do is we're going to scratch this, and we're going to use him as the main sprites, and we'll simplify everything. That's part of the process of that's probably what my plan will be. What we could do is should have 2 jumps. This is run. Yeah, the only thing that's missing is that there's no idle. It looks like there's no idle with the gun. So let's see if we can fix that real quick. Where's his eye? What we'll do is we're going to duplicate these 2 guys. Whoops. And we'll just put the gun there. Andrew will probably kill me for doing this. Let's put the gun here. He's pretty good about when he puts the gun out, it sticks out a little bit more. So let's see if we can make a new layer real quick, and we'll just paint in some mask color. Just so I could see where I think that is just trying to see how he sort of handles it in these other ones. What I really should do is, it looks like the only difference between here and here is him moving the head, and I should just duplicate that by like moving the head down. Because the way that he has the gun standing out here makes a lot more sense than what I was just about to do by duplicating that. and it's just easier for me to... The only question is the gun, the head is in front of the gun. So I think if we look here, there's only like 1 pixel difference, and there's 1 pixel difference here. And it doesn't look like, it really doesn't look like anything else moves here except for his head. So we can just do this little bob thing here. And that should give it a good idle. All right, so now we got that. We can get rid of this one. We'll get rid of this too. And then we had this jump. So this jumps up. I like this. I like these jumps better. So I'm going to get rid of this jump. And this jump. And then we have these 2 falls. Where does the eye go? The eye goes to the left. And the eye is here. All right. I'm just trying to make sure as I'm lining up the eye where it needs to go. Something's off here. Why is his... Technically, if I was to do this, so what I'm going to probably wind up doing is I'm going to make, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm cleaning up some artwork because I want to make a little game for Ludum Dare this weekend. So I don't have a lot of time. So I'm taking some work that Andrew and I have been playing around with for years now. And I'm just trying to clean this up and get this ready for Pixel Vision 8. So this is a jump and shoot man. What I'm just looking through is like, there's a lot of ways that I would actually do this a little bit differently. So I'm just trying to make sure that this is cleaned up. I wonder, where did I lose? Did I lose the... I guess this just flips, and that's how he goes up and down the ladder. That's fine. So we'll move this guy over here. And that should be all that we need for the player, really. Yeah, my plan is to stream during Ludum Dare. We'll see how that goes. Basically, I'm home and my family's home. So a lot of times I usually try to time Ludum Dare where I'm in Seattle for the weekend, and I could like just either run a Ludum Dare event or hang out at like a hotel and then do it from there. But the problem is when I travel, it's not very easy for me to stream. So we'll see. We'll see how much time I'm able to dedicate to this weekend. I was actually thinking of like doing a post Ludum Dare jam where basically everyone who didn't have time to really do Ludum Dare could just like, as long as you spent 72 or 48 or 72 hours, you could just do it throughout the rest of the month. So we'll see what I wind up getting around to. I realized when I found that it was much more difficult. I only had to bow out. Use a 4K monitor, restricting myself to 1080p for the streaming is brutal. Yeah. Does Amazon App Store still exist? Yes, Amazon App Store still exists. I'm back to being an evangelist for it. I'm part of a new group inside of the App Store that's doing cross-platform tools. So Game On, which is something we just launched, that's what I've been evangelizing. That's what I was actually doing at Nordic Game Jam, was talking about Game On, which allows you to do leaderboards and challenges and real-world prizes in your games. My hope would be to incorporate Game On with a Ludum Dare game and incentivize people who play my game to actually give them a real-world prize. I don't know if that's technically cheating, but All right. Let's see. So we would flip this back and forth for the up. This is the slide. This is the head nod. But what I'm really confused about is why his eyes are off. Because technically it should be here. Yeah, that's what we should need. All right, right there. Perfect. All right, this is walk. This is walk without a gun. This is walk with a gun. This is jump without a gun. This is jump with a gun. Or this is fall. This is jump. This is jump. Slide and climb. Cool. All right, we did it. We can move this dude over here now. Andrew and I have talked. I never really liked this guy. He sort of looks like a toilet. But I think what I would probably do for a Mega Man style endless runner is to not even have a boss. How do I want to stack this? Maybe we'll just leave him off to the edge like that. Maybe we can put him along the bottom here. And I'm just going to see if there's any way that we can condense... If we can condense this this PNG a little bit better. There's probably like a few ways that I'm going to try to reorganize this. Right now, let's just get this to a basic place where we're sort of happy, and then we'll go from there. All right, so that's getting it closer. What I'd probably do for a flush man, yeah, basically. What I'd probably do for this endless runner is I would just focus on building some pretty cool little like levels, and then you just have to like sort of endlessly shoot bad guys. But then I don't know if that's like technically fun. I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I don't really make very good games. I'm more about like just the fact that I can make a game. I like the technical challenge to make a game. I don't think I've gotten the like... I don't think I've gotten very good at the actual like making a game part. This one's an interesting one. I'm trying to think of how I want to actually break that up. If I'd want to do like multiple sprites for each bar, then we can sort of add it up from there. Seems like a okay way to do it. All right, I think I'm happy with this stuff. I have 2 walk, I have a fall, I have a jump, I have a slide, a climb. All right, let's redo these. So this is player idle 1. Player idle 2, player walk 1, player walk 2, player fall, player jump. This is player idle gun 1, player idle gun 2, player walk gun 1, player walk gun 2, player fall gun, player jump gun, player slide, player climb. I don't know why climb didn't look right. Climb. Okay, perfect. So, what I'd like to get done before Ludum Dare is one, I want to get all this artwork cleaned up today. Let me, what are we working on? This is Slice Up, Jump and Shoot Man. Cleaning up pixel art, and we are doing cleaning up pixel art and slicing up Jump and Shoot Man. So, trying to see if we can tighten this up a little bit more before we start slicing these guys up. Like all this stuff here can come up to there. I feel like these bullets and things can all be on one row. Maybe I put these guys here. I mean, this is purely aesthetic. What I'd eventually like to do is get this to the point where this is broken up to 128. Or 256, 250. I mean, technically, the way that Pixel Vision 8's memory works is it should be 128 wide, but we'll deal with that later. The title is a little big, but that's fine. All right. Move all these guys up. There we go. Just trying to think of where I want to put stuff. I think this is sort of fine. Let's just start. I was thinking almost I can move all this stuff over. Like all this stuff can be moved up a little bit. Where was that? Oh, it's 1 pixel from the bottom. Was that all the guys? Yeah. All right. I mean, I can like nitpick this indefinitely. This is not the goal of this right now, but just getting this thing a little bit tightened up doesn't hurt. How big is this guy? He's 40, so here it's 2, 4. All right. Let's just move these two up here. All right. I think that gets us a little bit cleaner. All right, so let's go back to slicing these guys up. Some of this stuff is pretty easy. This is like shooter open turret. Right? Is that how you spell turret? I can't spell to save my life. Turret. Turret. Open. We'll call this turret closed. And I'm thinking like what I would make if I was to use this as like a little bit of an endless runner, it would just be like a big obstacle course. I don't know if I'd have like this big boss guy at the end. But since I wanted to also let other people have this art pack or have access to this art pack, spikes. I'm just going to add them. Spikes large. I'm going to put everything in here and then you guys can choose to do what you want. Spike small. Hidden turret 1. Hidden turret 2. And hidden turret 3. Snake 1. So if you're just tuning in, I'm cleaning up some artwork here for Jump and Shoot Man, which Andrew and I have been working. we created this like a long time ago. I've just never got around to really cleaning this up, and I decided instead of actually using this in a game, I would go ahead and build out an entire game engine to support this one game that we decided we wanted to build 4 years ago. Energy. Health. Switch up. Switch down. Cannon. Right? Cannon. Cannonball. I don't know what the hell that is. Or that thing. Spike ball. I feel like that's a mess up. I don't think that's supposed to be anything. We'll hold off on it. So this is a knight. Jump. Knight standing. Running 1, running 2. Call this spike ball small. This is spike ball large. I don't know if I'm going to do stuff for all of this, but some of these are background tiles. What the goal of what I'm trying to do to, well, I guess I don't know. Like this thing here is a pillar. Tall. What would that thing be called? What is it? Pillar top. Maybe that thing is a bullet for the turret, just a different kind. Yeah, I think it might be. I don't know. I pulled some of this stuff out of another game. So select box. So I was trying to fill this in with some other bad guy stuff. What do we want to call that guy? This one's a knight. This one is hardhead. stand. Hardhead run 1. Am I changing running, walk? I do that a lot where like I change the grammar of things. Hardhead walk 1. Hardhead walk 2. Hardhead jump. Hardhead fall. So where else do we want to clean up stuff? We'll just call this cannon bullet. Sure, whatever. Spring up. Spring down. Continue. Hey, can I ask a question about Ludum Jam? Yeah, sure. You can ask whatever you want, Spencer. Feel free to chat. This is like boring stuff. Like, I don't really like this, but you have to clean up your art. Auto tiles. So I made an account on the site, but I don't know how to sign up for the event. Do I just post my game after the event, or do I need to sign up? No, you don't need to sign up. You just need to you just post your game. Once you have an account on Ludum, then you could just post your game to that when you're done. The thing you want to probably do, I've never done it myself, but you could always do a little post that says you could always do a little post that just says that you are taking part in it and that you're in. Not fun. I messed up this jump and shoot, man. Where's the temp? What the uh-oh. Photoshop's doing its weird corrupted thing again, where it doesn't understand what it's doing. What the Photoshop is so buggy these days. Like it's almost like impossible to use. I literally had to quit Photoshop and restart it because it was corrupting itself. Let's get that going, and then I'm gonna come back into here to jump and shoot, man. Would have been cool if it didn't corrupt itself while I was in the middle of working on it. All right, I got a little happy here with the with moving stuff up. I should have just moved it to there. So let's move the auto tiles down here. We move the logo here, and this pillar and the top pillar. All right, there we go. All right, that's there. Everything else is good. The logo is good. Oh my God, do I hate cutting up artwork. Let's see, Spencer. Okay, it's my first time joining. I always wanted to join. Can use any program. IDK, if you heard of that. No, I never heard of Click Team Fusion. I don't know what that is. Yeah, you can use anything you want for Ludum. I take part in the jam, which lets you basically bring your own artwork, which is why I'm sort of cleaning my stuff up right now. Let's see. I literally hate this bad guy. What I honestly feel like doing is just pulling out the bad guy altogether. Like I might ask Andrew to redraw him. Like I can't even tell where he. Oh, I know what it was. He shoots like a missile thing from the top area, Ugh, it's so bad. Yeah, like he like squats down and then shoots up. I almost feel like just getting rid of it altogether. I don't know. Bars, top. Bars, bottom. Spike ball. I don't know. A lot of these things are like just individual textures. So what I'm also trying to figure out is like, how do I want to distribute this? Like if you were to get this file, like I would just give you this art and you can just go and cut it up your own way. But what I'm trying to do is get it ready for Pixel Vision 8. So I'm cutting out the stuff that makes sense. I don't know. All right, you know, this is as good as it's getting for right now. Let's just try to output this real quick and see what the hell we get out of it. Workspace, documents, projects, art packs, jump and shoot man, sprite builder. We want images only, settings, custom, all user slices, and let's just output that and see what we get. So we should just get like a folder full of stuff, and all this stuff should be Pixel Vision 8 friendly-ish. We'll give it a test in a minute. Yeah, that looks good-ish. I hate that Mac doesn't know how to scale up pixel art anymore. All right, so what we would do is this. No. So we'll call this Jump in Shoot Man PV8 art pack. It's like too big. It's too long, too many characters for a jump, shoot, art pack. All right, so what we would get out of this art pack basically would be this. We would do a PSD. All right, PNG, jump, shoot, art pack. We would call this sprites. And then I just need to build a quick color file. Whatever, I'm gonna simplify this anyways. Strangely hungry. I'm like my whole schedule is sort of screwed up because I've been in Europe for like a week and a half. So I'm like really hungry right now, even though I had breakfast. Although it's 10, that's like the normal time that I sort of start having breakfast when I'm back on schedule in East Coast time. Let's image crop, and we're just going to save this out as projects, art packs, jump and shoot man. We'll call this a color map. So my theory here is that I should be able to how did you export all the cut ups like that? Oh, sorry, Spencer. Basically, once you create slices, which is with slice tool, this thing C. If you hold down Apple Shift Alt S, it brings the save for web. And use file export as, or right click on a layer for a faster way. I think they're going to deprecate this. When they deprecate this, I'm probably going to be done with Photoshop. I'll never use it again. This is like a throwback to like 100 years ago when I used to do web stuff. But then it would take all these slices. This is how I used to have to cut up big images, kids, back in the internet, the early internet days. All right, so we got a color map. We got colors. What I'm thinking of doing is let's just run Pixel Vision 8 and just see what happens. Let's see, where's Pixel Vision 8 Pro 8.0? Yeah, sure, whatever. We'll see about just creating a we'll just see if all this stuff loads up. We'll start right there. I don't even know what was I doing here last. I think I built that demo. I don't want, excuse me, did I add that demo into GitHub? Pixel Vision 8. So if you're new to the channel, basically Pixel Vision 8 is, I was sort of getting frustrated with building more authentic feeling 8-bit games. And I really like stuff like Pico 8, but the thing with Pico 8 is that it's really hard to build more complicated things with it outside of its own scope. So I spent the last 2 years building my own fantasy console in C#, and then I have different versions of it. The game creator allows me to write games in Lua, so it has like its own standalone tools, but there's also an open source SDK, and you can run it in Unity, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff. I just hit beta, and I'm in the process of sort of cleaning all this stuff up. What I wanted to see here was demos. No. Where are the Lua demos? Lua demos. Branch 8.1. There should be a color canvas draw sprite demo, font demo, micro. Did I not draw sprite demo? Screen wrap. Did I not save that? What did I call this guy? Replace color demo. Did I not push that up? I swore I copied that over. All right, so without deleting this thing, yeah, I probably never finished that. All right, let's do this. I want to make a backup of this. So let's come here and whoops, go to save, and we'll archive this. So basically, all this demo did was like it allows you to. What you can't see is I'm holding down different keys, and I'm recoloring it. So the Game Boy Color did this really cool trick where if you played like an old Game Boy game and you held down different key combinations, it would recolor things. This is what the normal color looks like because it's the Game Boy. So I built a little demo that just shows off how to remap colors on the fly, so you could simulate that little palette swapping. So anyways, all right, so that should be backed up now. Let's go and look at the games folder. Replace color demo. Sure, why not? I mean, it didn't take long. You know, just to be safe, let's compress this. Actually, I don't want to compress this. Move the trash. I am going to copy this over and call this replace color. My wife was texting me saying, okay. We'll just put this off to the side, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Game Boy project. So this is like, so the game creator is basically a standalone compiled version of Pixel Vision 8, and it has all these tools. And one of the things you can do is you can sort of choose a different system in order to build a game for. So in this case, we're going to just create a little Game Boy. Template here. Freeman's wife, stop making games and take out the trash. Yeah, basically. That sounds like something Mrs. F would say. Actually, what Mrs. F usually says is why do all your games look like they're stuck in the 80s? So that's usually the compliment I get when I create games. Game Creator Pro, projects, art packs, jump and shoot man. All right, so let's copy all this stuff over to here into the sandbox. Yeah, let's replace that guy. We don't need it. And now let's look and see if any of these sprites loaded up. Hey, look at that. All the sprites loaded up. Cool. If we play this, we're going to have a problem. The font is probably not colored. Probably have to remap the font. This color should just be black. Bar? So one of the neat tricks with, hey look, we don't have enough, we have too many sprites because there's not enough memory in the Game Boy. I really want to get rid of that bad guy. Let's see. Let's for right now, let's just change the number of sprite pages to 4 and save it. And now come back here. Hey, you know, we're not that far off. I really want to get rid of that bad guy. I hate him. Really, what these sets of sprites really are for, they're not for full games. They're really for letting you just like get started making a game. Oh, this came out so good. I think for the Pixel Vision 8 version, I'm just going to delete the bad guy. I don't like him at all. I was talking to I might just have Andrew redesign it. Is any, every time I run the game engine, I love little intro music. Ali's he's deaf, so he can't hear me, so I wanted to type out something to him. Yeah, the startup sound is really loud. People have complained about it. I need to simplify that. Let's see. What are we going to do here? Let's make the pages 2 and see if we have enough memory now. Almost. Usually, like a game like this wouldn't have lowercase. Here, we'll just get rid of the lowercase. This isn't a requirement for this thing. I'm just trying to get a better sense of what, like if I was to support this, if I was to support this save at the lowest version, what would it look like? Let's see. This should give us all the characters now. Hey, look, we still got a little bit of memory. All right, but that works. We get all the tiles now, and I wonder what that is. Why is that solid like that? Interesting. Whoops. Let me delete that. I don't know what's giving me that empty font, and I'm afraid that there's a bug. No, it must be something solid. It must be something solid in the sprites PNG. Oh, here we go. This is why. This shouldn't be here. Image crop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going I'm gonna create a. I gotta stand. My legs are hurting. I'm gonna create a very small sprite set that's just for Pixel Vision 8, and when you like buy these art packs, or whichever ones I decide to give away, you'll get like all the artwork. But I'm only gonna focus on just showing you like on just giving you like the main stuff. So all right, that works. If we restart this here, we now have our font. We have our jump and shoot man and all of our font and text. There's some things that we could do to basically clean this up so that it parses it a little bit better. I don't know if I really want to get into that. Let me take a look. This is 144. 128 is basically the cutoff. So we'd have like a lot of empty space. It's not important. What we're really looking to do is this. So this saves out our sprites. This is enough memory now for us to put into a Game Boy cart. I mean, like I'm using air quotes. You really can't see. And then let's do the sprite builder. So I just generated out a sprite builder file. Let's take a look at if it sees all the sprite data. So it's pulling out a lot of stuff. It gave us the auto tiles, which I don't really want. I'm going to sprite builder, auto tiles. Like this stuff I'm going to delete. There were like a few things in here that I don't really want as I think they're continue. Do I want to continue? I think no. Basically what the sprite builder is really for is when you need to draw sprites out. If it's something like background tiles and stuff like that, like I'm not going to really focus on that. What we got to figure out, I know that blur is awful. What we got to figure out is how to actually draw this stuff in tiled. But let me refresh this. And what I wanted to do was I want to redo this bar, this health bar thing. So let's take a look at how this is split up. Because this would basically... what I would actually do is this way. Nah, you know what? Let's leave it like this. And we would make it fill up like that. So basically you can use it to fill, and then in here we would just leave it empty like that. Right? And then now you could have like this little health bar, but this is going to be made up of all individual sprites. I will say this is a little bit, I would actually, okay. So there's a lot of like layering stuff that the Nintendo did with sprites, or like that developers did on the Nintendo to sort of get around the sprite limitations. One thing that I'm just noticing here and what I want to clean up is, if we were to lay this out as is, we're using up, it's a 3x4 sprite, and it's just using a lot of sprites because the dead space. I understand what Andrew was trying to do because he wanted to make the center these pieces, but reality is as long as this is square like this and it's a perfect 8 pixel in the center, we're going to overlay this on top of this guy, which would go on top of the background. So what we need to do is we got to get this... we got to get this centered here. Oops. There we go. And then I'm going to copy this back over to our source. The hell did that get pasted? What just happened? Holy, Photoshop is just having senior moment today. There we go. What we're going to do is we're just going to sort of clean this up a little bit better. Let's just delete that. And we'll... so this is the meter, and this is... I forgot you have tile flip or not. That would save loads with those tiles. Yeah, I do have tile flipping. Some of this stuff would be saved. I haven't gotten it where it fully optimizes when it imports the tile flipping. Meter 1. I will eventually go in and optimize that. Meter 2. Meter 3. Meter 4. All right. And I'm going to get rid of the slice for this. This. I'm going to get rid of all these. There's like slices here that I don't really care about. What I'll wind up, I think what I'm going to do, it's funny, like I've had all this artwork for almost like years now, and I haven't even released it as art packs because I've just been too afraid of people. Like I just haven't figured out how I want to format it, and I think I just got to like shit and get off the pot. Like I'm just going to basically give you a PNG like this. I'm going to make one set that's a source. So what we'll do is something like this. Like we'll basically save out in the jump and shoot art pack would be something like source I'll make this a PNG, and you'd have like the whole thing, but what you're going to get is the art pack itself will just be an optimized version of this thing. You put Toilet Man back in. I'm tripping. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. No, he's in the main source file. This is the one that's being loaded up into the game. Let me output this stuff here and save it. And then, yeah, like some of this shit I don't want here. Let me delete all the crap from... Oh, I see what I did here. Let me delete this. We're gonna work in the workspace. I have this now. I have like files like all over the place, and it's driving me nuts. Let's just build this out as a simple art pack. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna reload this guy, and now we have the different meters, which is good, and we still have lots of room. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 whole sprites left. Look at that. But this did optimize a shit ton of tiles. So, and whoever was asking about the flipping before, like, what's like a good example of the flip? Like, I don't know, like this guy's face, you can flip horizontally or vertically. I'm not optimizing for it, and that shows you the masking for the background color. All right, so here's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to, well, you know what, let's just save this out. Let's call this, workspace, runners, sandbox. Sprite reference. All right, we're going to include, did I save it out as a PSD? What the? Yeah, whatever. We can leave it like that. That's fine. I was thinking of saving it as a PNG-ish thing. I don't want to do that. Let's save it as a PNG. Move the trash and jump and shoot, man. I'll keep it as a reference here. I don't need this. I don't want to save out the slices. I will do a separate thing of cut out sprites, but it's just too much. It's too overloading. Let's call this PNG sprites reference. All right, cool. So now what you basically get from this art pack is you'd have a reference with all the stuff. You'd have the sprites that we're using in the game. We'd have Sprite Builder with this stuff. And then there's basically just like a default color map, which allows you to remap the colors. And if we come in here, call this jump and shoot man art pack. All right, so we'd save all this stuff out, and that would basically represent our jump and shoot man art pack. We have the default Game Boy colors. We have our sprites. So we have 2 pages worth of sprites, and it's been optimized for this Game Boy template. We don't have any tile map, which is what I want to work on next. And then there's no real sounds or anything like that. I mean, I could probably make some sounds up. I mean, hell, I could technically just say, here, generate a song. And, well, you can't hear it right now because it's... let's see if I can make this super low. One of the things that Pixel Vision 8 has is a built-in sound generator. Oh, I can't hear it because I'm not listening to the feedback. I wonder if you guys can hear it. Let me turn off my music. I checked your next things in your game. I barely understand how it works since I noticed there is a lack of comments or various code lines. Yeah, let's see. I have a demo. I have an included demo now in the new version. Oh wait, hold on, before I get into that, let me hear this. Anyway, so that's the music generator. You can basically just tell it to generate anything you want. And you can go in there, configure it, and set different things. Like if we wanted to make this, I don't know, natural minor. Oh, cool, there's some bugs. All right. Before we move on, let's file the bug. I wanted to go take a break real quick, but... All right, so before I forget, let's mute this so you guys don't have to hear the background noise. And let me file that bug real quick. Game creator. Yeah, it's not a... Yeah, I know. I mean, that's unfortunately just part of it. I mean, this is still very beta. The goal of what I actually did was I wrote this in order to help me build Ludum Dare games. So it's good to spend some time before I play Ludum Dare to actually like test out the editor and stuff. Let's see, music, gen config UI error. Looks like the check boxes for the config menu of the music shifted up by a tile needs to be moved to the correct place. Where did I save that screenshot? Workspace, screenshots. So I find the bugs, you don't have to. All right, there we go. Cool. So I can fix that rollover thing later. What is this tool? Hey, if you're just tuning in, this is Pixel Vision 8's Game Creator. So, oh, I have a new website. Yeah, look at that. So I basically wrote, so if you want the open source, undocumented, sort of a pain in the ass to compile version, but is free, there is a open source version of my fantasy game console. And there's the SDK, which is all C Sharp. There's a template for running it in Unity and Lua demos and all kinds of other stuff, right? The other end of it is if you go to pixelvision8.com, I now have a whole new website, and you can join the Fantasy Console Club, and you can get a free version of the tool that's just missing some of the editors, or you can pay $1 a month and get access to the pro stuff. And all of your proceeds basically go towards helping me hire more developers and artists to create really cool stuff. And this is just a tool to build fantasy consoles that are closer to what a Nintendo would be like. What was it built with? This is built with Unity, but it's a pure C# framework, so it does sort of run on Mono. Eventually, I'll be moving it over to Mono and getting it off of Unity. So okay, I think I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break. I want to go have a snack, and then we will continue on. So let's do this. I'm going to make a new, whatever, we'll just use this. All right, so be right back. Wait, short break, back at, what is it, 10:24, so let's just say 10:30 EST, and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. When I come back, what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out how to get tiled auto tile maps to play nice with the auto tiles that I have in mind, so we could just figure out at least how to build out some levels for these other asset packs. So all right, I shall return. All right, sorry about that. Took an extra minute or two to snack. I was hungry today. All right, so where do we leave off? Right, so built a little standalone sort of, art pack thing for this. What I want to figure out next is how can we use the auto tiles in Tiled. Now, I have to admit, I really have no clue how Tiled's auto tile system works. And more importantly, what I probably shouldn't do is I probably shouldn't do that live. Maybe we can go through and clean up another one of these guys. I was just going through and compressing the artwork. Excuse me. Let's see, we got the sprite cache. So that's the compressed version of the sprites. These are all the sprites. All the sprite cache, when I hit this compress, does is it reorganizes everything. It dumps memory, so it loads a lot faster because it loads it out exactly. It saves it out exactly how it's loaded in memory. You can just throw any sort of sprites in there and it would still work. We got rid of the lowercase fonts. Everything seems to be in order. And it looks good. I think Andrew did a really great job with the artwork, and the he's also gonna do a color version of this. So what I'll probably do is different art packs where you can sort of choose if you want like the Game Boy version, or you want sort of a 4-color. You can do a NES version too. Since I don't have the new colored stuff, I don't have anything in there, and since this is missing a lot of the fonts, there's nothing really to show. All right, let's let me do this. Let's save this out before I do something stupid here. So we've archived this as Jump and Shoot Man Art Pack, and we'll quit this. And now the real challenge is how do we build a thing? Let's just download this example and take a look at what it is. So what I want to try to figure out how to do is how to set up a basically how we can set up a, let's see, what are the tiles? I don't like this at all. Let me see here. Tiled tutorial. Trying to understand these things. It does work. Huh. There's got to be, like, somebody's got to have explained this in an easy way. I don't want to watch a video. Tiled store object layers and using tiled from code. Auto mapping with tiled map editor. Apparently I can't attach zip files. I did it once years ago, but I watched the video and now I totally forgot what to do. Yeah, it shouldn't be this complicated. All right, let's look at this one example here. Now, do I have, what version of tile do I even have? 1.13. Okay, close enough. Let's open up Where do my downloads go? I have like a million windows open and none of them are the windows I need. Studio downloads. Let's see what this example looks like. Right? So if I want to see, I don't even understand. Man, I'm like so bad at tiled. I don't even understand how the hell tiled works. Wing filled mode. Sure, whatever. What is this? Select same tiles, terrain brush. I have like no clue how to even use tiled. Time to add auto mapping. Well, I do have auto tiling in Pixel Vision 8. Well, it wouldn't take me very long to add auto tiling to it. The problem is the tile map editor in Pixel Vision 8 is like not very good. And I don't know. What the hell are we doing here? Auto mapping explained for 9.0 and later. Let's just, I don't have the audio on for my computer. This looks like so much freaking work. What I sort of want to do is like I want to scream. I want to scream. It's like the most complicated tool ever. I mean, I sort of see what's going on here, but like there's like no reason this should be this freaking complicated. Let's see. It's using the stamp. Regions, input fringe. I don't think I need any of that stuff. That's just doing collision stuff. I don't need collision. All I want to do is just draw some pretty basic tile maps. I have some like hacky ways of doing it. Rule. Maybe I need a terrain brush. Yeah, I probably need to use the terrain brush. Maybe I wasn't using the terrain brush. Which one's the terrain brush? Terrain brush, right? No, see, it's just like... Maybe I didn't load up the terrains. I don't even know how to... Oh my god, I'm just losing everything. I now lost the terrains thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know how to use tiled. Hey, you know what? Like, let's not save that. Like I know how to use like the most basic version of it. I might just have to figure this out on my own. I mean, I'm not going to let you guys like sit here and watch me suffer through this. What I'd like to figure out though is no, links don't get banned. That's probably a good idea. What I can do is Let's see. I don't know if you guys can... Hopefully you can't hear Mrs. F in the background. Let's see. Docs, map editor, latest manual, using the terrain tool. Yeah, I just have to sit down and come up with my own way. I just have to like sit down and play with it on my own. I'm just like, I have to watch the video, and I've done it before. It's just not very intuitive. Let me see. Andrew built a few things here that sort of show off how the levels were supposed to be designed. I mean, we could do some basic tile map stuff with this. Although one of the problems is that do I even have that face anymore? I don't have those numbers. Where did he put those numbers? Did he give me all that stuff? I don't think he did. Jump and shoot, man. There's no numbers. Fonts. Oh, I guess he used that, but then he like stylized it. Son of a... Alright, I'll have to talk to him about that. What do I want to do? You know what? I got let's just do another art pack because I'll have to come back to this. It's like I'll figure out a tile on my own and then I'll come back and do the stream. But let's do let's take a look at Upgrade Droid. Between Upgrade Droid and Dragon Sweeper, I want to remove a lot of this stuff. There's like way too much stuff. Although, I mean, I'm not limiting it to where like the Game Boy template only has 2 pages of memory. Like Game Boy games actually had more memory. It just made it a more expensive cartridge to publish. But let's do Upgrade Droid because this one I think was really good, and he had some pretty cool like layout stuff. And these would all be like really fun little endless runners. So, all right, what I'm going to do is this. Let's go. I just wanted to open back up projects. I just want to make sure I backed up that game. So here's Jump and Shoot Man art pack. And what's cool is like once you make an art pack, if you double click on it, you can just choose what things you want to import in. So you won't be able to bring in the sprite references, which is fine, but you can bring in the sprite cache or the regular sprites. You can bring in the SB sprites file. You can bring in the default font and the color map, which is all you really need anyways to get that running. Let's go ahead and it looks like I did back it up. Let's archive it just one last time just to make sure that everything is good. And then I'm going to create a new Game Boy template here, and if I just run it, we'll see it's empty. And I'm gonna come into here and let's get the Upgrade Droid. Now, how did I set this up on the other documents, projects, art packs, Jump and Shoot Man? Oh, what we should do is let's make this green. And I should just copy over the sandbox. Documents, workspace, sandbox. All we really need is the... oh, I'm an idiot. I archived it. Let me reload that up. We'll just edit it. And now if I went through, now that I edited it, copies it over to the sandbox. All of our stuff is here. And, well, we don't have any of that stuff. Okay. So now I can just copy that out and I'll just save it in the, this. Default fonts and the color map. Move the trash. All we really need here is this. But we'll do games. So now we have these files, which is basically what I would package up, where I would package up these two things. You'd have the PVA, which you can dump in, and then this is just all the files that make up the color map, the default font, the sprites file, all the cutout sprites that we're using, the reference, the sprite cache, and then the actual sprites itself. In fact, I don't think I would do the sprite cache. I would just do sprites, reference, sprite builder folder. Oh, we don't need this either. Whatever the default font and the color map is. All right, that would be, I guess if you downloaded that, that would give you everything you needed. And the PSD I probably wouldn't distribute, only because it just has my slices and stuff. So there's nothing really to focus on there. All right, so now that the reason I was doing all this is because I wanted to get this set up. So let's create a new thing. We're going to call this upgrade droid art pack. And in here, I just had a sprite builder folder, right? New sprite. And let's open this up. And, oh, you know what? Instead of even doing it there, what we're going to do, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to create a new project, and then we will, we're just going to do it right into this folder here. And then I'll copy that stuff over. That seems to be a better workflow. So let's see. What I want to do is, I don't like this. So let's get rid of that. Let's hide this. And I think this artwork is pretty much tightened up. Maybe what we do is we can like move it around a little bit more. But if this is 128, so we could make this fit a little bit better in memory, but I'm not gonna worry. What I actually want to see is how. Let's just do this real quick. Let's just save this out and see sandbox sprites.png. Let's save this out, and I'm gonna make. Let me open up the color map. And I'll just rechange. So the color map basically allows you to your artwork can be a different set of colors than what the actual system displayed. The best example of that would be the Game Boy was really grayscale, but we remember it as green because of the way the tinted screen was. All right, so that's the new color map. If I come in here and I just run this, we're gonna get a bunch of art, but we're not getting the fonts yet. So let me see how much. So this will be a much bigger game. In this case here, data, we would change this to 4. Let's just change this to, I think we need 3 pages, but we'll take a look. I know when we're at the end, when we get to the font. So, all right, so we needed 4 pages. There might be something that we cut out of here. For instance, let's do this. Let's close this. This is my source. What I would probably do here is let's move some of this stuff up. And imagine if it had been a gray screen. What I want to do is I want to shift all this down to make room for the logo. We'll just try to get the logo in the smallest space possible. That can go there. That can go there. Whoops. I don't have arrow keys on my keyboard, so it's... Oh, I see what it did. Ugh. So stupid. I don't have arrow keys on my keyboard, so sometimes I like merge the shortcuts together. All right, we'll just center it here. That's enough. And then I just need to figure out where to put this, these last little bits. I think that is good. If you're just tuning in, I'm cleaning up some artwork that I've had for a while from 2D Heroes on Twitter, Andrew. Just trying to get this stuff to run well inside of Pixel Vision 8. And this stuff we can just put down here. How did it line up to the left of the inner border and below? See, now it's a lot better. All right, so in this game, he used the background color to fill in the black for a lot of stuff that would just be made in the tile. So the constraint of the Game Boy and the Nintendo was basically you only had 3 colors for sprites. The 4th color was a background color that was either transparent on the sprite layer or showed through the background color on the tile map. So let's crop this. Image crop. And then I would get rid of this, and I'm going to save this now as a PNG. And then what I want to do is I want to load up that PNG. Where's my workspace? Sandbox. It's like something like this. We would probably just mirror. Although there is a constraint. The tile map logos and main menus do like to take up that memory. Yeah. But that's fine. That's part of the course. One of the things you can't do on the Nintendo, as far as I know, I would love it if someone could tell me if I'm wrong, is that you can't, you actually can't flip tiles on the background layer. So, sorry, everyone's starting to wake up in Seattle, so it's almost time for me to stop and start my real work for the day. Let's see here. So what I was trying to say was, like, you couldn't just flip this unless I wanted to make them all sprites, and this would probably eat up all the sprite memory. Although, what I am thinking is that, yeah, this strip and this strip would be unique, but this inner strip is repeated, this outer strip is repeated, and then this would be flipped. There are some ways that we could basically trick the like this would be sprites because the door opened. So like I would cut this out and then just flip that. I would cut out this wall, but the engine's automatically going to remove any duplicate sprites. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything like really, like all this stuff here would be optimized. I think the thing that's taking up the majority of memory right now is the ship, the helmet, right, and this like auto tile thing. But that's fine. I can't get everything to be optimized. So let's do this. So like on this, which would be the optimized one, what we'll do is let's cut out these inner pieces. We would save this stuff here. This would be flipped. I wouldn't flip this. Yeah, like all these, like these aliens, I would just flip them on either side in order to save sprite memory. Like, well, this guy at least, definitely. This entire ship, I can't really. I have to look into whether I want to do the flipping in the tile map. The GBA tile map could have flip. Yeah, the Game Boy Advance was able to do that, but the Nintendo wasn't. I just think it didn't have the memory for a. You had a single bit for the tile map, right? So you had to have the char, the palette reference, and they tried to compress that tile map a little bit. So I think we've sliced this up. Now we're starting to move over to upgrade droid. Let's save this. I'm less concerned with this one. I mean, it would be nice to get it to 3. We're close. Like, what I would do is I would get rid of this, the lowercase of the font. I'm just going through and looking to see if there's anything that's like... Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, Andrew did a really good job. I really love Andrew's pixel art stuff. Between him and Cast Pixel and Pedro, they did like a really awesome job for this stuff. All right, so that all being said, what we probably do... Yeah, the NES can't, right? All right, so I think this is good. Let's look into slicing this stuff. All right, so this bothers me right here. This is like a waste of a sprite because this one line pops up over. Like the whole time he's 3 sprites high. Excuse me. Just thinking of how I want to... I'm trying to think of why I have a duplicate here and here. Like, what I'm thinking is... Really? The Master System allowed you to do the background only for flipping, but not sprites. Wow, that's strange. Yeah, I'm never going to capture all those little idiosyncrasies. That's like a whole other... So, I mean, Pixelvision 8 really is its own sort of like subset. It simulates these systems a little bit differently than how Pico 8 does, for example. One of the things I've been having Cast Pixel work on is a look and a feel that's unique to Pixelvision 8 and its own color palette and all that other stuff. So you can basically build a unique Pixelvision 8. Right now it's more geared towards simulating these other ones. What I'm just trying to think through is like I want to shrink this sprite. I don't want the player to be this high. So I'm just trying to figure out where I can pull it down. Like, this one's easy because it's this helmet. I would probably need to bring his arm down a little bit more. So I'd have to move this head and this head down. I mean, I could just tell Andrew to do this too, which is probably the easier approach. I'm gonna have him do that. That's what I've decided. All right, so let's do here. Player. What is that? All right, so I feel like this and this are the same frame. Am I missing something here? Interesting. So this is the run without a gun. This is the run. I think for this one, I don't have an idle for him with the gun. Or her, maybe her. Like in this one, I would cut out all these sprites here. So like, let's take a look at something here. Let's delete the ones that let's delete that. Let's delete that, and let's delete that. And that. Then this we would delete because we would just simply flip this. Yeah, like this guy here, I would just flip. I would flip that. This is all unique. This guy here, I would flip. And this I would remove. The ship I couldn't flip because of the background. This is fine now. It's amazing how expensive like these tiles would be. So this would be flipped, right? All right, let's save this and let's see what we optimize. What I'm trying to figure out is like, how do we have Pixel Vision 8 optimized sprites and not? So there we go. We got it down to 3 pages now. So like for this one, I would cut them out and I would probably by hand have to fix the flipping. See, the thing with the sprite builder is that it doesn't know how to flip sprites. That's a problem. All right. Let's bring these back. All right, that's fine. That's where we're going to go. Let's see what this does. Maybe we can still get everything in 3. Close. All right, so if we get rid of... If you're just tuning in, I'm cleaning up some artwork, and I'm trying to just compress it as much as possible so that... well, I'm cheating a little bit. This isn't as accurate as what a real Game Boy would have been like. I'm just trying to get it to the point where we only have the stuff that we really need. All right, so that'll give us the 3 pages, just like we had before. And there's, like I said, there's some magic stuff that I would do to flip this stuff, but because of the way that the sprite builder works, and it needs to look for the whole sprite, it wouldn't know how to flip just like that tile. Hopefully in future versions of the sprite builder, I would make this a lot smarter. All right, so I think we're good. Let's move this here. Move this here. We're going to get rid of... Just trying to move things around and get a sense for where... No, I need this separated. Well, here it actually technically doesn't matter, because these sprites are all going to be parsed. Where it really needs to be cleaned up and separated out is going to be here. These need to be... Like, this thing can't be here. All right, whatever. I'm not going to like micromanage this crap right now. It's low on my list. I want to make sure that this stuff just loads in and we go through and we rename the sprites that we really need. So, all right, this is what I would do is that what I got to talk to Andrew about is I don't like that the guy's head's being clipped, and we don't have one. Like he should have his gun in every one of these. So that's my feedback for this. I had to run out. What were you asking about flipping tiles? We were talking about the Nintendo couldn't flip tiles in the background map. It can only flip tiles in the sprites. All right, let's start slicing. So this is the logo. This will be player. What I can't tell in his thing is this standing? Or is this part of the running? Yeah, the Game Boy Color could do both. Yeah, the Game Boy, I actually don't simulate the Game Boy Color. That one, the Game Boy Color actually had a lot of more advanced features. It also supports like a lot more colors than Pixel Vision 8 can. I cap Pixel Vision 8 at 256 colors, mostly because it's too complicated to do the index. It's like it would be too slow to do the index lookup at anything more than 256. What the hell are these frames of animation? I never remember if this is part of the run. I feel like it is. I guess he's got three frames. So player, walk, 1. Player, no gun, walk, 1. Sure, why not? Maybe what we'll do is we'll throw this down real quick and see what it looks like. Player walk 1. It wouldn't take me very long to animate this. Player walk 2. Player walk 3. Let's just output these real quick and custom user slices, and in here we need to make a new sprite builder folder. So a lot of this is a custom workflow that I built in for my game engine. So for Pixel Vision 8, basically what you could do is if you create a folder called Sprite Builder inside of your game folder, it'll enable the sprite builder, and the sprite builder goes through and it looks at a folder of sprites, thus the name. So it's going to go look at these folders of sprites, and it's going to generate out a Lua file. And the Lua file is going to give us the sprite IDs for each of these. Now, this guy it found some for, which is fine. This is what I'm looking for, this walk 1, 2, and 3. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to write a really quick little code thing here. Let's do this. So load script SB sprites, sprites, right? And on update, we'll do, well, we can just set the variable. So local, well, actually, we'll just do time equals time plus time delta. If time is greater than 0.08, I think is what we did before, then end, let's do local frame equals 1. Frame equals frame plus 1 if frame is greater than 3, then end frame equals 1, which will reset this. Local frames equals, what I want to do is I'm going to pull out each of these names. So here we'll do player walk 1, player walk 2, player walk 3. And before I go any further, let me just run this and see if I have any errors, which I do. Attempts to perform an arithmetic on a nil value, so 2. So right, we just need to do local time equals 0 and reload this. All right, so it's running, you just can't see it. Let's get rid of this, which just draws the text. And now what we want to do is draw sprites, and we would just do frames, frame, 0, 0. We want local frame data equals, no, don't put that there. There we go. Sprite IDs with, we'll keep all this stuff as the default values. And now, without further ado, yeah, we got a really fast running little dude. Yeah, I hate that array started 1. What's even worse, what makes things 100 times worse in this, when I was building Pixel Vision 8, whoops, I see what I forgot to do. Time equals 0. Yeah, that's it. That's the run. I think we need to actually, it should look something like this. Player walk 2. It would just go backwards. Make this 0.8. Because everything is C# underneath, I spent so much time converting. Yeah, I think that looks all right. It happens so fast you can't even really see, but at least the gun moves and there's like a little bit of a bounce to him. Let me move him down 8, right? So, I mean, there's lots of things we could do to sort of like we could make this, like actually, like almost like he's like jumping a little bit, so that there's a little bit more of a delay between frames. That looks really awkward. So let's pretend like I didn't suggest doing that. I think if we slowed it down a little bit more. Oh, that sped it up. Well, we would play with this anyways. I just wanted to see if that middle thing is part of the actual run frame, and it is. So that's good. Someone just hit my doorbell. Oh. I think my wife is handling that. Okay. So, all right. Running. Got the guy running. All right, I think that works. That was just a quick little demo to see if this stuff works. I think what we'll do to wrap this up for the day is we'll finish cutting up the rest of these sprites, because who doesn't like watching me cut up sprites? I feel like these guys could be optimized a little bit more, but let's just do player jump 1. I think he like spins in the air. Player jump 2, player jump 3. So again, the source PSD would basically have everything. It's up to you to sort of use what you want, and the actual art pack will be optimized for Pixel Vision 8. And what I'll probably do is just build out a little demo scene that shows off how to use all the stuff. Let's see, player jump 4. What I wanted to see was if I could, let me try it over here. I feel like this guy is really just 2 sprites. Like, I don't even need that. And that one's fine. Like that. Like that's, whoops. That's sort of how I would optimize it. So, yeah, what we'd have to do is that when he jumps, since he became smaller like this, we would just have to recenter him in the right position. So I'd probably move it over by like 4 pixels so it sat in there. But memory-wise, this would actually, like if I save this right now and I rerun this, we're probably, let's see, where are we at now? So we're down here at 754 sprites. So look at how many sprites we saved by just moving that over. So now we're at 746. So it's not like earth-shattering memory saving, but it was enough to make a little bit of an impact there. So was the one thing I noticed. No, okay, we do have bullets here. Perfect. All right, so let's go here, and I feel like I want to just move. I want to center this guy. It's like a whole new enemy. Yeah. You could basically add a whole new enemy. We'll center him, right? What was this? He would be 3. I'm just making sure this is mirrored correctly. 2 and 3. So, whoops. So he would be here. Photoshop like hates being on the pixel grid. I gotta change my music because it was driving me nuts. Whatever Spotify's Discover Weekly this week, this stinks. Where was that other playlist I liked when I was traveling? All right, so let's clean this up. I just got to make sure that this stuff is the same. This would just be like that, because it's, I think his head is 3. No, actually it should be 2. But so I'm looking at the continuity here. We would want him spinning within this area. That one's going to be, this one's going to be a challenge. Well, we're probably going to, So, okay, so this is going to look like really weird. But what we're going to try to do is, I'm going to remove these. Let me move these guys back. What we're going to do is we're going to get them to be aligned. We're going to get them to be centered within this area. But we're going to make sure that the pixel data is really within 2 sprites. Something like that. So you'd have like, stupid leg. What I'm trying to get is I say you're not going to see that. In the main sprite, we'll leave this as is. It'll be like a little off center basically, but what you'll do is you have what, 4 here. Close enough. I mean, it matches up to the back of the run animation, so it's not going to look terribly awkward. What we're trying to do is compress it to get as few sprites out of it as possible. So in the art pack, we would lose this pixel and this pixel, but you won't notice that when it's actually running. And in fact, what I want to do is, let me just delete these guys, and we'll just, I'm going to copy them over, but I want to make sure that they're lined up correctly, and we're just going to flip them. Image, edit, transform. We'll flip this guy horizontal. No, I want this vertical. Yeah, that will work. That'll work fine. Yeah, I can rotate the sprite, but basically, what I'm trying to do is, if somebody just buys like this artwork and they just want to use it in their own game, I'm just giving you all the examples. When it comes to the actual sprites that goes into when it goes into doing this here in the art pack, I will flip these. We'll actually build out that rotation animation. I'll show you how it'll play out. Player jump 1, player jump 2, player jump 3, player jump 4. All right, so what I just need to do is copy this over correctly. Yeah, that's lined up. Okay, cool. So watch. All right, here let's build out the art. Let's build out this guy and take a look at it. So sprite builder, will replace all this stuff, and then all right. So we still have we still saved the same amount of memory. What we're gonna do is let's draw that guy. So we should now have player jump 1 and 2. So what we would just do here is let's just change this to and we would do something like local flip false true false false true true, and then what we can do here is, as we go through, local flip equals I don't want to name this. I don't want to have a name collision here. We'll do frame, and I believe the draw sprites is right after. Oh, hey, look at that. This is going to be, what we need to do is this. Because it's actually going to be, we need to flip it vertically and horizontally. Yeah, let's have some extra complexity. Let's just see if I get this to work real quick, and then we'll do flip X, flip Y. This is going to look like shit, but flip X, flip Y, but at least we'll get a sense of it. Let's move this off the edge too. So now this should use the same code as before. There we go. So I mean, like even like this, it looks good. Like I'm not even flipping the XY. Like let's slow it down for a second and oh, whoops. There we go. So we got the flip animation from two separate sets of sprites, right? And we're just flipping it vertically and horizontally. I wonder what happens if we just got rid of, if we only did it on one axis. Will it break? Yeah, okay. So it was working correctly. That's a pretty bad jump. So, all right, so that's long story short. That's how we get him to go along that side. I mean, it looks good, right? I mean, these are the tricks that the old video game systems used, and that's basically why I created Pixel Vision 8 to torture you with these old video game system like hacks that you had to do in order to get the most bang for the memory space. So let's see here. So that's the flip for the animation. It looks good. And look at how many sprites we saved, man. We saved like like 10 sprites. That's good. That did something. All right, so what's next on my list? We tested out. What I should actually do is, let me copy this over. We should probably save this code while I'm building this out. Flip frame. I'm going to go back to how I had it before, and then I'll just paste this stuff back over. So that was the player walk. Right, so what I wanted to call this was, I wanted to sort of show all the sprite animations on one thing, so I just got to name these correctly. So let's just, let's rename frame, and we're going to call this walk frame. And frames, we'll call this walk frames. Bar? There we go. Walk frames. Oh, I see. I have it for selection. Frame should be walk frame. And then what we'll do here is we'll increase the walk frame here. We'll get rid of this crap. We don't need that. And walk frames, walk frame data. Good. Walk frames, walk frame. If you're just tuning in, we're playing with some old Game Boy style art and trying to get it to run in my my fantasy console, Pixelvision 8. This is the game creator, which is the tooling for it. Line 58. What did I mess up here? If walk frame is greater than walk frames, counter. There we go. There's our dude walking. Let's set him over by 8. Right? And then the next thing we're going to do is... I was just going to copy over this stuff that we had before. So, so we're going to call this frame, let's do exact match. Whole word case match frame. So we're going to change frame to jump. Well, we should actually copy over all the code. Because now what we'll do is we'll take this and put this here, and we'll do increase jump frame. And then we'll pull this stuff out. Probably going to run out of sprites. Nah, there should be enough sprites to show all the animations. I could only imagine doing this on like archaic hardware with no real debugging tools. I should stop my Pomodoro. I've been getting really bad at taking my breaks. I need to stand for a minute. It's important to stretch, kids. It's important to stretch if you sit at a computer for too long. Stretch and staying hydrated. So, I gotta stop at 12. I have a meeting at 12. Let me make sure I'm not running over any other meetings. Everyone's starting to wake up in Seattle. I've been up since 3 a.m. because my schedule's all messed up. I was in Europe last week. Well, I was actually in Europe yesterday. What are my meetings for today? Yep. Okay, one more second and then all right, so let's finish this up. Now I'm gonna move this over to 32.8, and let me just run this real quick and see if we can get the rolling dude. There we go. All right, so all I want to do is just rename these things here. So frame, we're gonna call this jump frame. We'll rename frames to jump frames, and flip frame to jump flip frame. We'll call this jump flip data. We'll just call this jump frame data. Let's make sure we didn't break anything. All right, cool. There we go. We got some sprites going. Look at those guys run and jump and do all those cool things that they like to do. Let's see. What else do we want to do here? All right, so that covers all the jumping animation-y stuff. Then there's the running with the gun. I feel like I should fix this one. That one annoys me, but all right. I'll have Andrew fix that. All right, so we're gonna call that. Well, these should be the same. So there's. All right, I gotta rename this stuff because this is player walk 1. Player right. Player. Ha. I don't want to make this like super wordy, but basically we just need to calculate each of the degrees, right? So this is 30 degrees, 0 degrees, and 15 degrees, I guess. Or just upright. So, all right, let's do this. We're going to copy this, actually this one, and this one. We're going to move it here. And we're going to call player walk top right 1. Top right 2. Top right 3. And this is top. Top. And then we're going to call this walk right 1. Right 2. Walk right 3. All right, so that handles the walk stuff, and then this is the idle. Player idle 1. Player idle 2. And for this guy, I think we'll just leave him like this, but this would be player front. So technically, in this case, this would be like the player would pop up out of the top of the ship, and they would then you'd go into one of these other views. I would like to see if Andrew could clean it up so that it doesn't take up so much space, but that's fine. So we're going to be not very creative on this. Alien A1. And we'll just copy this stuff over. Alien A2. Alien A3. Alien B1. Alien B2. Alien B3. Alien B4. Get it? B4? Ha ha. Alright, Alien C1. Alien C2. Alien C3. Alien C4. Welcome to the majority of building games. Production. Just cleaning up artwork and all kinds of other not fun stuff. This is D, Alien D, CD. So I'm only cutting out stuff that I know I'm going to use on its own layer as a sprite. I'm not going to cut out any of the background stuff, really. In fact, I probably wouldn't cut out the logo. And then this is alien E1, alien E2, now I guess this is like like that's the pellet and then that's the explosion. So we'll do a bullet. And then this is, well, we'll just call them bullet 1, 2, and 3. And bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, and bullet 4. All right. So, make your artist do it. Yeah. Well, the problem is you got to pay your artist. So I don't want to pay him per hour to clean up stuff that I could do. Door. Door, right. Well, actually, all we need is that side of the door. I don't cut it out on the other side. Door, what else do we have? I think the only other thing I want to cut out is this like plant thing. Plant top. This and this are the same. Plant middle. Plant center 1. Plant center 2. So I'll split it up and then we'll build that stuff. We can just do programmatically. I don't think there's anything else I would actually cut up out of this. Everything else is really just background stuff. Orb. And the orb, I probably would, the orb I would probably flip. Although I don't think there is, well, I don't know. Again, like I said, there's a lot of sprites in here that I could actually like cut out and flip. And if I really wanted to like micromanage and optimize this, I would do that, but I'm not in that game right now. All right, I think that's all the artwork that I would do from this. I have to wrap this up. I already saw a meeting reminder, and I gotta start my meeting in 15 minutes. So let's stop this. Let's output these sprites, and we're gonna need to refresh this. This should all be good, and then we'll do the sprite builder. Let's just take a look and make sure that a lot of this stuff is being found. So this stuff looks good. What I need to do is change the code and make this player walk RR, whoops, RR. Ah, not good. What did I break? That should be there. How did I break that? Player walk. Huh. It's missing like whole. Oh, I know why. I'm an idiot. I need to get rid of this mask and then output these. There we go. The mask is just for me to use because when I output it, you don't want to see that. This the background color. The mask, which is this magenta, is automatically treated as transparent by the engine. So let's save this. Let's rebuild the sprite builder and then rerun this. There we go. There's our dude. Do I have time for one more thing? We could do top right. Let's just see if we can oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. Maybe this is what I should build for maybe this is what I should build for Ludum Dare, is like a little Metroid runner. I would love to do that. By the way, I just use Ludum Dare as a way to force myself to make a game for the weekend. I don't actually like do the theme. If I do, it's a pure coincidence. I was gonna do some fun stuff here. Let's I don't want to do my meetings. Why can't I just sit here and stream all day long? I have like trip reports to write and expenses to do and all kinds of other crap that is like the not fun part of my job. All right. Local walk. What if the theme is not a Metroid runner? Well, then I'd ironically do a Metroid runner just to prove my point. Walk. Walk set. Let's see if we can do this here. Oh, look at that. It's just rotating his hand. That's the opposite of what I wanted. How did I screw that up? Right. Walk frame. All right, try that again. There we go. And for my final act, so now I can go here and I can just change this. I'm not going to connect this up to the controller. I really need to go and get ready for this meeting. But now we have the run, and if we did this to 3, he just like a baller just points his gun in the air and walks. But even when you lose that 1 pixel frame at the top, like you won't even notice it. Like it's gonna be really good. This artwork looks so good. All right, I think I'm happy with the way that this came out. So okay, I'm gonna end the stream on a high note, and tomorrow I'll come back. We'll go through the other art packs, and maybe what I'll try to just do before Ludum Dare. It might be. Well, maybe later tonight I'll sit down and I'll really try to figure out how to use tile map stuff. But man, that's just going to be such a pain in the butt. What I should probably do is I should probably create an algorithm that takes this and that takes this pattern that we've used and converts that into something that tiles can use. I'll have to sit down and think about how I want to do that. I could sort of build it into, I don't know, whatever. I love building tools, and then I wind up like building tools and never build games. Why was that gun arm there? Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Let me output that again. Oops, I don't want to do that with the black. Wait, what the hell is the layer? Oh, that was me flipping this. All right. E, and we're good to go. All right. I'm going to end it here. Let's save this. We'll save our sprites. We're good to go. And, well, the last thing I'll do so that I don't accidentally delete this tomorrow if I forget what the hell I'm working on is let's go in and we're going to change this to an art pack, and we're going to call this Upgrade Droid Art Pack. and we'll lock the specs, and that'll be a 3-page thing. So we have our colors correct, we have our sprites cut up, and then I just got to figure out how to do the tile map stuff. So cool. I think we had a really productive morning. Not bad for being gone for like a week and a half. Oh my god, that was rough. Not only was I gone for like a week and a half, but my wife was out of town and the boys were out of school, and I had to I couldn't really stream before I left. So I'll be back for the next like week or so before my next trip, and we'll go from there. So cool. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm gonna shut down my computer. It's been real. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, I think. And hopefully tomorrow I don't have as many meetings. I don't know. No, I do have meetings. Yeah, I gotta... Yeah, all right, we'll figure it out. Thanks everyone for watching. See you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Just Jesse Freeman. JESSEFREMAN, which you probably already saw from the tweet thing. And if you're interested in Pixel Vision 8, or you can always get a copy of Pixel Vision 8 for free at pixelvision8.com, and just sign up for the Fantasy Console Club, and you can get a free copy of Pixel Vision 8. It doesn't have any of the tools, but the Game Creator Pro is the one that has the tools that you're sort of seeing. But you can actually build the stuff without the tools. I'm gonna probably change that up in the future anyways. So thanks everyone for watching. Talk to you later.